And welcome to Politically Incorrect with Manishankar Iyer and Shapan Das Gupta, the show that focuses on the week's biggest developments. This week, of course, the Iran-Israel conflict burst upon India's doorstep with a car bomb blast right in the national capital, targeting an Israeli embassy official. A day later, Iran dared not just Israel, but the whole of the Western world as it showed off its nuclear might. As the Western world and the US in particular step up pressure to isolate Iran, we ask, can India afford to maintain friendly ties with two sworn enemies? If India is Iran's largest oil importer, Israel is critical for its national security and defense requirements. Is it then a catch-22? And just who would be a better ally for India in the long run? Manishankar Iyer, if I can begin with you, can India afford to sit on the fence, or if push comes to shove and it needs to make a choice, who is a better ally?
Number one, I don't think we are on any fence. What has happened is that in recent years, we have withdrawn from that area. We used to be a very active player. We were the only non-Muslim country to vote against the partition of Palestine in November 1947 because we'd been through the trauma of partition ourselves. We knew that partition would be no solution. And I still think the only solution is the one that was given by Jawaharlal Nehru then, which was rejected by both sides. I expect it will be rejected now. But the two-state solution is a flop. It hasn't succeeded. And the one-state solution is the only alternative. Now, over the long run, I don't think there's a problem, because I think Jewish Israel is bound to disappear by the middle of the century. Their Arab population inside Israel is growing at such a fast rate. And the net emigration of Jews from Israel towards America and other countries is rising at such a fast rate that sooner than later there's going to be an Arab majority in what used to be Palestine, and so Palestine will return to the Palestinians. But in the next 50 years, I think the issue is that Iran is said to be going towards a bomb. But Israel already has a bomb. And if Israel didn't have a bomb, I don't think this issue in Iran would have arisen. Also, the architecture of nuclear security in the world is completely flawed. From 1967-68, apart from India, Pakistan and Israel, who for different reasons rejected the Non-Proliferation Treaty, the rest of the world went in, but it was an unequal treaty. It said that those who don't have the bomb will never have the bomb, and said that those who do have the bomb may at some stage work towards the elimination of the bomb. Not until we have a move towards nuclear disarmament as such, the elimination of nuclear weapons, will you stop countries which in 67 didn't have the knowledge or the technology from today going to the edge, to the threshold, and saying we don't want to make the bomb, but if push comes to shove, then we will. So what we have to do is to stop push going to shove and not think to ourselves that the only alternative is that since push is going to come to shove, therefore let's make a choice between the two. I think we can have a very good relationship with Iran. It's almost impossible to have a good moral relationship with Israel, because Israel was built as an act of aggression against the Arab people. The behavior of Israel towards its own Arabs and towards its Arab neighbors has been totally deplorable. They have been responsible for more killings than ever. And as far as the car accident in Delhi is concerned, which you used as the excuse to start this debate, no one knows whether it was an Iranian who put that device onto an Israeli car. But what we do know is that the device used there was the same as the Israelis have used to kill more than one Iranian nuclear scientist.
So what is it that you're suggesting then, a conspiracy theory?
I don't know who killed him. I don't know, I really don't know who killed him, and I'm willing to wait for the answer to come. But if in the context of that car accident you're asking this question, I was saying that there's no connection established as yet, but the question itself is very important, because the Americans who have screwed up in Iraq, screwed up in Afghanistan, screwed up in Libya, are now getting ready to screw up in Iran. They don't seem to realize that Alexander did not become Alexander the Great until he had defeated Darius of Persia. Iran is one of the world's most ancient civilizations. It has maintained a continuity which you often don't find in the Arab world, which has sort of forgotten its past. In Iran, the past is very much with them. So you go to Shiraz, Persepolis, places like that. Amazing achievements in human civilization. Now these people can easily make the bomb.
All right, we've heard a very impassioned defense of Iran there, but is it a question of a choice for India? Does it have a role to play in this sort of shadow war that we're seeing?
Money has circumnavigated the whole of West Asia and come to the conclusion that we need to put all our eggs in the Iranian basket. That's at the end of the day, that's what he wants. Because he still harks back to the time in 1947 when India refused the recognition of Israel in the United Nations, and we delayed recognizing Israel as a country till 1992, if I'm not mistaken.
Diplomatic
relations.
We recognized them, but we didn't accord them
diplomatic relations with Israel till 1992. Therefore, he talks about the old civilizational ties, the old other ties, the economic bondages, economic links which are there. And then he regrets what he quaintly calls the accident in Delhi. The first time I've heard of an explosion being called an accident. It wasn't an accident. You said the word accident in Delhi. Well, it's a Freudian slip.
It is clearly a terrorist act.
Yes.
My point is that the assumption that the terrorist act was committed by the Iranians doesn't seem to hold water until it is established.
I haven't said that.
Because the other thing is the Bangkok and the Georgia explosions, which they first said was the same, this morning's papers say that they're completely different.